Joining us now from Washington for a closer look at the president's remarks is Bob Woodward of the Washington Post, who is, of course, also the author of the best-selling book, Obama's Wars. Bob, good morning.
Morning.
How interesting has it been to observe the president over the last 48 hours or so, and just even listening in on that short clip from the interview with Steve Kroft? What do you see when you watch the president?
Well, first, he's humbled and maybe humiliated to a certain extent, so he has to grovel a little bit, which is what he's doing. He talks about persuasion and, of course, what voters, what people want. They want problems fixed, and he hasn't yet fixed some of the main issues, particularly the economy. But what all of this shows, I think, Harry, is there's this concentration of power and expectation in the presidency to an extent that we've never seen before. Obama's out every day campaigning or doing something, so people want him to handle all these problems in a way instantly, and of course he can't and has not done that.
It certainly seems as if he is faced with some decisions here. As he's jumping on an airplane to go to India, he'll have plenty of time to think about what he does when he comes back. He's extended this invitation to the leadership in the House and the Senate from both sides of the aisles, said, let's come together, let's have dinner. What does he need to decide? What does he need to figure out as this new Republican-dominated Congress comes into office in January?
I think probably three things. First of all, he's got this political problem of dealing with the Republicans. How is he going to approach that? What's going to be the strategy? How willing is he going to be to compromise? Second, I think the economy, unemployment, big deal. These problems can't be solved in a year or 2 years. He's got to develop a long-term plan, 5-10 years. He's got to get the Republicans to sign on to some of that. And then the third area is foreign policy. The war in Afghanistan, the threat of terror is very real.
As you've been able to observe so closely all these different administrations, this one included, who does he call? Who does he have a conversation with? Who does he go for a walk in the woods with, so to speak, in order to formulate who he is and what he's about for the next 2 years?
I think one of the things you find, and I find in my reporting on this, is the circle's too narrow. He's got to broaden it. He's got to get opinions outside that narrow group in the White House. I suspect he's going to be not just calling the Republican leaders for dinner, he's going to be calling lots of old hands in the Democratic Party, in the world. I suspect he'll have Bill Clinton in. I suspect he might even have George W. Bush in. He has to think it through in a much larger context. The White House game plan has been too narrow. People don't like that. He's got to be much more inclusive.
Obama's Wars is Bob Woodward's latest book, and we thank you, Bob Woodward, for taking the time for being with us this morning. We do appreciate it.